open up your whole face, like you're singing with your whole face.
Great to see you.
Good to be together. Let's just take a look around the KZOOM room.
Yay.
See who's here. Welcome to everybody. So in this, as I'm preparing for this KZOOM, I realized that what I want to teach, really what I want to cultivate and practice, is a certain kind of a stance or a posture. And a stance, the word stance is always like kind of in relationship to the world. I want to take a stance in relationship to the world. And so the inspiration, the love at the center practice that we are beginning with says the voice of my beloved, here it comes. And when I say here it comes, I'm taking a certain stance. And in thinking about this class, I called it joyful anticipation, expectancy. And and then the ability to be surprised. And those are qualities that I want to cultivate. And I was looking just now at the commentary on that line from Michael Fishbane's beautiful commentary, and he says, in this spiritual situation that we find ourselves in, the soul brims with anticipation. For the attentive spirit, the word kol, which I'm saying is the voice, conveys a call to attention, an arousal of alertness. A call to attention, an arousal of alertness. The beloved remains an exterior reference point. Here it's coming, right? The time of waiting is fraught with intensity within and without. As an inner experience, the voice is a sharpening of religious consciousness. Something is happening. And as an external matter, the oncoming reality throbs with vibrant images, leaping and bounding over the mountains. The spiritual call cuts through all worldly constraints and rivets the seeker's attention. So cutting through, kind of like, all the the things that we get bogged down with, the everyday details of our lives we get bogged down with sometimes, and so that we sort of need this kind of practice that kind of startles us, awakens us, surprises us, or opens us up to the possibility of surprise. And then in our practice, we want to cultivate this kind of a stance. And they say that, this kind of mystical experience is something you can't make it happen. It's kind of accidental. I guess that's when we were listening to Alan Watts, he's saying it's kind of accidental. It kind of comes upon you. But you can become more accident prone. and your accident, the way to become more accident prone is with a kind of attentiveness, and that kind of a joyful anticipation of what is coming, and even though we don't know what that is. And one of the teachings that I love from this book called The Mind Illuminated by Kuldasa says, and this is just in the introduction. I didn't get much farther than the introduction because I was so taken with this. He says, direct knowledge of the true nature of reality and the permanent liberation from suffering describes the only genuinely satisfactory goal of the spiritual path. A mind with this type of insight experiences life and death as a great adventure with the clear purpose of manifesting love and compassion toward all beings. So to be able to come to my life experience, and the anticipation is that this is a great adventure. Whatever's happening, this is part of the adventure of it. And I'm, in that way, I am receiving it kind of differently than just being the receiver or the victim or the, okay, this is what's happening now. And so I want, I've really been wanting to talk about this stance. And when I was first learning meditation, one of my first teachers of meditation, who lived in Jerusalem, he spent the whole first class of this series of meditation series teaching us about our posture. and coming around to each person and sort of tucking your head and pulling your shoulders back and like bringing it really an upright kind of sense. And at the time I was like, oh yeah, what's the big deal? You know, we're going to spend the whole class just with our posture, you know. But it ended up, and I see Shuli sitting up straight just when I say that.
Thinking about their posture now.
So many years later, I wrote him a letter. I said, thank you so much. It's like your teaching stayed with me. Every time I sit to meditate, I pay attention to my posture, and I said there's a relationship between the outer posture and the inner posture. There's a kind of a uprightness of heart, is what it's called. When that my outer posture kind of mirrors the inner posture, and vice versa. And if I can bring a sense of attentiveness to each moment of my experience in meditation, then I don't know. It changes the quality of it. So that's what I'd like to do in this. It's the evening for me. It's the morning. It's the morning for Johnny. So.
And Tony.
And Tony is here too.
I don't know about Diana in Argentina.
No, it's nighttime.
It's still nighttime.
Yeah. So what I want to do is, and one of the tools that I use in my meditation is using my imagination. And what I'd like to do is, like, if you close your eyes and you imagine a horizon, and everybody has a different horizon. It might be mountains or it might be the ocean, but it's something like a far horizon you're imagining in front of you. And get a sense of what is beyond the horizon. And that's kind of what opens up this anticipation, this joyful anticipation, is knowing that there's something beyond the horizon I can't yet see, but I need to be in total kind of like attentive curiosity. So,
but I know it's something good.
Well,
something I think.
We'll
that's
see.
my belief. It's got to be something really good. So
it's something amazing. I don't know.
Amazing, yes, amazing.
It's a kind of beyond good or bad at this point, but something amazing is beyond that horizon. And in a way, with my anticipation, I am calling it towards me, which is, so I say, the voice of my beloved. Here it comes. So let's try this practice. Dodi, hinay, dodi, hinay, dodi, hinay, dodi, hinay, Close your eyes and bring your attention to that far horizon in your imagination and sense what it is of the form of the beloved that is rising above that horizon. It might be a word, an image, a color. Just on the next inhale, just take it in, whatever it is that is leaping over that mountain. What it is. And if you feel so moved, you can, if there's a word, an image, a color, a feeling that you want to put in the chat of what rises up for you.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, no, that was before.
Well, wow.
Path of
Could have
energy.
arisen.
Mine was kind of like just a brightness, joy, a path for the energy to flow. What did you notice? Coming, bright green, love and support, large flowing figure, a stream of light, great light of warm love, purple sunrise, radiant fullness, supreme success.
Wow, cool, thanks.
Bright light and love, beautiful blue sky, bright light, the green flash.
Oh, the green flash, yeah.
So the truth is, we don't actually know what's coming over the horizon. And our spiritual practice is to be with that uncertainty, but to be with that uncertainty in a non-anxious way. Be in the not knowing. And that seems to be one of the main challenges of life, because, who could have imagined that this was like this pandemic coming, a few years ago? Could you have even imagined? It's like, what's coming over the horizon? We don't know. And so the idea of life and death being this great adventure, I think, is a kind of a reframing and helping us to step into the mystery. So, and I think about this, this practice that I want to cultivate, this stance of curiosity, adventure, compassion, wide perspective, and a kind of joyful anticipation. I think of these two different stances towards what is coming to me. And one of them is what Rachmil calls gloom and doom, meaning like the kind of sense like waiting for the other shoe to drop.
That gloom and doom pattern.
The gloom and doom thing. It's like, okay, what bad thing is going to happen now? That's one stance to life. And there's another stance of life is, it's like what you said, something really good is going to happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's okay, but sometimes you're setting yourself up because you have a little bit of a attachment or preference for exactly what that thing should be. And when it's not, you might be really disappointed or crushed by it. So I'm going to say both of those stances might not be the ones we want to take. And I want to offer an alternative stance, which is called entering into the mystery, like opening to the mystery, being in the place of not knowing, but being there in a way that's not anxious, but actually it has a kind of this anticipation of like, what's going to happen? Like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? And so you could say, oh my God, what's going to happen next? Or you could say, oh my God, what's going to happen next? It's like just a different tone to it.
It's all in the attitude.
It's all in your attitude. It's all in the stance, in the posture, right?
Right.
And so I want to cultivate this by chanting these words from the book of Exodus, that brings us this realization that we don't know. We want to be in service to the oneness, but we don't know how we're going to serve until we get there. And so this practice, who was it? Oh, Shandel and Cliff, you were saying this was your practice for, right? Actually, Ziva, this was your practice. No, different people I'm thinking. This was your practice, yes. And at different points in our lives, it's a really important practice to be able to be in the unknown and stay open. And underneath that is a kind of a confidence that when I get there, in each moment, I will have the resources, I will have the wisdom, I will have the access to know how I can serve in that moment. But I don't know it now. And if I try to, it's only going to make me anxious. Because I don't know yet. And sometimes I'll use my pendulum and I'll ask a question. But my pendulum kind of tells me that, like, no, you don't know yet. It has a certain
answers yes, no, or
not yet.
Yep.
Like you don't know until you get there, and when you get there, you will know. In each moment. So let's try this practice. And just to step into the stance that is in relationship with life as a mystery that is coming over that hill, that mountain, that horizon, and we are inviting the unknown and stepping into it with this curiosity and relaxed, kind of joyful sense of adventure. Lo-nayda, mah-na'avod, et-Yah, shama. Lo-nayda, mah-na'avod, et-Yah Adonenu 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 shama. Once more. Lo-nayda, mah-na'avod, et-Yah Adonenu shama. Lo-nayda, mah-na'avod, et-Yah Adonenu shama. Lo-nayda, mah-na'avod, et-Yah
ad boenu shama. Lo-nayda, mah-na'avod, et-Yah ad boenu shama.
So in this tender place of not knowing, just want to see if we can relax into that. As in all that not knowing, there's actually a knowing underneath it. A knowing that we are sourced, we are resourced. That we are ready. Ready or not.
Here we come. Your life comes.
Your life comes, yes. So there was a practice that one of the first moda'nis that I ever composed, and there's many of them on my app and my website, but the first practice of moda'ni that I did was a bowing practice, and it was a bowing to the past and saying thank you for everything that's ever happened. Thank you. And then this radical thing of bowing to the future and saying thank you in advance for whatever's coming my way. Thank you in advance. And then the third bow is a bow to this present moment in gratefulness. But I think that by doing that practice of bowing to the future and saying thank you in advance for whatever it is, it really changed something in me to do that. It really did something like, and it sort of took away, like, you want to get that? The doorbell just rang.
That doesn't happen.
It took away a kind of a trepidation about life, because I was taking a stance and saying, thank you, whatever it is, whatever you got for me, I am going to receive it in gratefulness. So the practice that I want to do is called inviting our future selves. We'll see who was at the door. Nobody usually rings our doorbell, so let's see. Whoop, the voice of my beloved.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
It was the water co-op.
It was the water co-op.
They're having problems on the water line. Down below us, so that's good.
Okay. So I want to give a different take for this practice, inviting our future selves to us, and say that back in the 70s, I used to read the Seth material. Did anybody know about the Seth? And it's one of the first channeled books that came out and became popular. Was Seth, and he used to talk about probable realities, and the idea of probable realities is that in each moment we are opening up pathways to the future, and according to whatever choice we make in this moment, it opens up different pathways for the future to unfold. And so in this moment I have all these different choices to make, what word to say, what look to have, whatever it is my choice opens up a pathway to a future reality. And I as I invite my future self, I want to it's like the quality of my presence in this moment is what determines something about who I am becoming. And I want to have that awareness in this moment that, not that I'm in control, but that I am stepping onto a certain path with the quality of my stance, the quality of my vibration, my energy. I'm calling to me a particular kind of future that aligns with this. So I said to Rachmel, Rachmel's having, he's having surgery on his lumbar, and because he's been having trouble walking. And I said,
January 4th.
And I said to him, let's do this. Let's call in the future self that is walking without pain.
Yes.
That is dancing. That is, let's call him in.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you to say, what's the future self that feels like there's a potential there, and you want to call that in, a sense of what's possible, of who you are becoming. And we'll see with this chant, in a way we are becoming, we are the beloved that is leaping over the mountains, skipping over the hills. And we're saying, here comes my future self coming to me, inspiring me in this moment.
Hodiyani Yah, kitzi, yamai, Hodiyani Yah, kitzi, yamai, Hodiyani Yah, kitzi, umidat 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 yamai. Lo-nayda, yamai, Hodiyani Yah, kitzi, yamai,
And so close your eyes and send out an invitation to your future self to come to you as your beloved, leaping over the mountains, skipping over the hills. Here it comes, that future reality coming to you, receiving it in gratefulness, a sense of adventure, curiosity. As the presence of your future self kind of appears to you, just take note of what they look like, feel like. What does it feel like to witness that? And maybe when we go into small groups at the end, you can share a little bit about what that was. Did you want to share what yours?
Oh, I'm just radiating glowing joy because I'm walking without any pain at all. Just like skipping. I mean, skipping a little bit. Hey, haven't skipped in a long time.
Skipping.
I'm committing
over
to
the hills.
My future self is
leaping
skipping
over the mountains.
Leaping and bounding.
And so we don't know, but we can sort of like open to some of the possibilities that are actually nascent in this very moment. So I, and it kind of like lifts us up, to be with that. So I want to do one more practice, and the way that I decided I wanted to do this practice because I realized I don't want to just look at life as something that is happening to us, but instead to say that we are we are the messengers. God is moving through each of us to each other, and we can be, I guess, players. We're players. We are in this not just as as bystanders of like what's going to happen next. It's like, oh, we open up to this flow that is moving through us, and we play the part of messengers. And so this line from Isaiah says, oh, how lovely are footsteps on the mountain. Here we go. Leaping over that mountain, skipping over the hills. Oh, we are messengers. We are heralds of peace. Like, we need to open our mouths and let that message come through us to others and to each other and to the world. And it's another aspect of the stance that we take. That to say that not only does life surprise us, but we become the surprise for others. We can surprise the world with a kind of a sense of God's presence moving through us, and that we are messengers. Even when we don't know it, we are messengers. But just kind of like having that feeling of like, oh, if I follow my intuition, I follow a kind of a sense of like where I'm supposed to go next, maybe I don't even know why I'm saying something, and somebody says, "Oh, you said exactly the thing I needed to hear," But I'm following that guidance, and so inhabiting that sense of like like that we are the messengers, we are the heralds of peace, and the heralds of peace means that we are visionaries of the possible. We're using our imagination to call forth these divine possibilities,
rippling out peace and blessing wherever we go.
So let's do this. Let's become messengers together. Navu, raglay, mashmiya, shalom, mah-na'avod, he-harim, raglay, mashmiya, shalom.
Al
al he-harim, raglay mivaseh, mashmiya shalom, mah-na'avod, al he-harim, raglay mivaseh, mashmiya shalom, mah-na'avod, al he-harim, raglay mivaseh, mashmiya shalom.
So I invite you to close your eyes and imagine all of us, all of the 40-something number of us walking together over the mountains, skipping over the hills together. Transforming the landscape with our song. The earliest traditions of prophets that I talked about in the book of Samuel are these bands of roving prophets that would dance and sing, and anybody that they encountered would begin dancing and singing in ecstasy, and it was a kind of prophecy that lifts us up out of our normal kind of everyday small minds, and the song would lift us up together, and we would go dancing over the hills, and meeting each person that we met as the beloved. So I invite you now to open your eyes to see the beloved here in each square of the Zoom circle, to prophets, all of us.
What a good
Skipping
tonight.
over the hills together. Oh, Amberly! Wow!
Oh my goodness.
When did you show
It's
up?
been forever.
So, and I know there's people who are watching this in the future, because a lot of people watch
right.
this in the future. I send the link out, and other people watch. So, all you in the future, we're also chanting with you and dancing over the hills with you. And I invite everyone, if you feel so moved, to go to the website, give a little donation in honor of the prophecy you have received.
We're so grateful.
And also, I am teaching
In person.
I'm teaching a soul lift in person in Tampa. Anybody who wants to come, I see a couple of people here who are going to be coming to that. And also, tomorrow's the last day to sign up for the IJS month-long prayer intensive that I'm doing. You can find that on my website.